Guy Sagiv and excuse me, the riders, well, they lit up what otherwise could have been a very mundane stage indeed, because of just the sheer monotony of it. It is a very, very straight road running parallel with the Hungarian border up in the north of the country. We're north of Zagreb here as you take a look over the top, and the riders have been out in the saddle for a number of hours now. It's a particularly brutal stage as far as the length is concerned, nowhere near as brutal as some of the latter stages will be on the legs as far as the climbing is concerned, and those will be the stages where the overall winner will be decided in the 2016 Tour of Croatia. As for now though, it is Dimension Data. I couldn't quite pick out the team sitting alongside them. Cycling team Join S. De Rijke, the team alongside them there. Dutch team made up entirely of Dutch riders as well, and they're sitting alongside the Dimension Data team. So those two teams driving the pace along out in front. Up the road, Guillaume Bauvin still head down, wobbling all over the place from side to side on the road, but knowing that he's coming ever closer towards the final circuit that they will take on here. It's a 5-kilometre circuit, but they'll do it 1.5 times, and it'll give us a good opportunity just to see the nature of those two late turns, one with 1 kilometre to go, one with just under 300 metres to go, and the importance of good position coming into the final straight as far as the stage win is concerned is going to be vital.
Yeah, just starting to get a little bit congested behind Bauvin, and a lot of cars coming up from the front of the peloton, so this gap is closing very quickly, but it looks as if he'll manage to make it onto the finishing circuit. But this finishing circuit, as you said, John, is just over 5 kilometres, and it can only be a matter of about 30 seconds now, the gap.
So with the pace pushed along, one of those sprinters who will have had their eye on this right from the outset, and we see several riders weaving their way past cars and certainly not making life very safe for themselves there. Quite hard to find the best place there to nip back inside and
yeah,
get back in.
Normally we see it when you close roads, not rolling road closures, they can take both sides of the roundabout. Unfortunately for some of the riders, they went left and found themselves in the wrong side.
And take another look at it here.
See that motorbike there has kind of blocked them off, so some of them tried to go across the grass. Some of them decided, well, I'm not going to slow down now, move myself up, and we've seen this happen time to time. It's just a split-second choice you make.
As far as this sprint at the end is concerned, many people feeling that it's Cavendish against Nizzolo, Guardini, Pellucci and Raffoni. So huge amount of Italian sprint talent on show in the Tour of Croatia. Arm has gone up again from Guillaume Bauvin, who's obviously still just a minute ahead because his team car comes shooting up. Haven't quite got alongside him though.
That's not a minute, that looks to me like not more than 30 seconds, so it's kind of surprising. Normally they take the team cars out, but they've decided to keep them in, and that's only a matter of probably less than 30 seconds now.
We take a look over Croatia's cycling city, Varaždin. Known as the city of bicycles, it's also known as the Baroque city because of the ancient buildings, the Baroque style of architecture employed in the centre of town, and they have 2 bikes per capita in the city as well, which explains why it picks up that nickname as well. The loop round will see the riders take on a very interesting little 5-kilometre circuit. Guillaume Bauvin's time out in front of this race is very much numbered now, and when he can sit back and properly enjoy a relatively slow finish as we see Ryder jumping off the front here. One of the Synergy Baku cycling team made up of Azer, Slovenian, Croatian, Russian riders as well. We're back out in front with Guillaume Bouvard. I'd have to see in a moment if he's going to be picking up any company. So through the zone, which will be 1 kilometre to go when they come through the next time. And a glance over his shoulder now will mean that Guillaume Bouvard will see exactly what's going on. He's coming into what is one of the big turns. So we take a look out in front. Still putting his head down. Still got another lap to go, which will be somewhat disappointing for him. And there, surging through. That's 100 meters to go. When they take this next time, it'll be the finish. There's the finish line. So you've just seen that last left-hand turn, and that'll be the position where the sprint trains will have wanted to put their number 1 and number 2 men out in front by the time they come through and line up. 5 hours and 22 minutes in the saddle already from these riders, and they have just 5 kilometers to go. Still just holding on. It's been a stellar effort, this, from Guillaume Bouvard to stay out in front as long as he has, really, hasn't it, Brian? Because he looked completely toast.
Yeah, very brave effort, and you know, still giving it everything he's got, and he knows he's looking behind, and he's still prepared to give it everything. A mixture of teams towards the front. No team is really controlling things, and as normal, you come into a city like this, and everybody gets excited. The breakaway is about to be brought back, and that's why you have to be patient in these conditions, because you can burn yourself out too quickly and disappear back into the peloton. So we're seeing a big mix of teams towards the front of the peloton.
I just wonder, as far as the concluding lap is concerned, whether any of that jockeying for position behind is going to play into Bouvard's favour, because he keeps on glancing over his shoulder and realising that advantage, if anything, he might have stretched it a little bit again.
Yeah, now you get the Polish team of Active Jet towards the front, also in the black, Veranda Williams. So it's the team from Poland in the red and the white. But just on the right-hand side, you can see Reinhard Janse van Rensburg trying to move up.
A look over the top of the old city of Varaždin. A city that's been in the history books since around the 12th century. It's Guillaume Bouvard who is our leader of the race, as he has been involved in the breakaway and then out on his own with 40 kilometers still to go, and his efforts are finally going to be curtailed in the next few hundred meters. Three kilometers left to go from this point, so still the jockeying for position taking place. It is the Veranda Willems cycling team out in front with Tinkoff, who were very well placed earlier on, putting themselves in the mix, and Team Dimension Data, as expected, sitting towards the front of this group and just allowing themselves to move ahead. Gazprom Rusvelo, Ivan Savitsky, the man who is likely to be propelled towards the front from them. Astana with one man in there as well. Coming up alongside, we've got the cycling team Johannes de Rijke.
Just looking down there, and you can see Reinhard Janse van Rensburg on the front for Team Dimension Data. Behind you can see a lot, I think 3 of the riders from Tinkoff. Just behind that, you can see Mark Cavendish is now joined up with Mark Renshaw for the lead out.
That was a quick shot of the back of the peloton, which has become progressively more stretched, but there's still a surprising number of riders up there. And at the moment, this one is hard to call, and it's going to be all about that position coming off the final turn. They will have just about 2 kilometres to go in a moment, and Tinkoff just pulling out in front and driving the pace along themselves here. Just the evidence of Trek Segafredo on the right-hand side, with CCC Sprandi Polkowice in the mix as well.
It's a good effort from Tinkoff to hold the front. Just behind you've got one rider from Veranda Williams. I can see Gardini's in there for Astana, but it's going to be a little bit dangerous if we come into these technical corners now.
Yeah, 2 technical corners still to be taken. This is the first of those. A big left-hand turn back on themselves, which will bring them underneath the Flamme Rouge, which you can see in the centre of your screens there. So the final kilometre of stage 1 of the Tour of Croatia. Guardini is in there for Astana. Cavendish is there as well, but he's quite a long way back at the moment and will be looking to perhaps pull himself closer to the front as they make their way down towards this final left-hand turn, which is the position that you need to be in, and the jockeying for position completely split across at the moment. Flying out the front, Team Dimension Data do have the rider there on the front as they come into this final left-hand turn. Mark Cavendish is well positioned, and he's managed to get himself into a decent position. Sprint being led out, and now Cavendish looks to try and drive towards the front. And Nizzolo, it was, flying across the line. Giacomo Nizzolo of Trek Segafredo just managing to battle himself out into the front. And a celebration. Well, the conclusion of a very good day in the saddle. Nizzolo just went flying towards the